right, so a question about drumming. Uh, Straight up, I'm trying to figure out how to learn how to drum. And I could take, I could try courses. I don't really have any way to pay for courses, but I mean, I could be following tutorials on YouTube, and which I do a little bit, but I don't know. I guess I've always been the type that I kind of like to figure out my own way of learning things. I guess it's probably the hard way, but it's kind of always the way I've been predisposed to do things. So, they're just so I make up exercises for myself. I prefer making up my own etudes, exercises, rather than following a menu of others' exercises. Again, it's probably not the best way of going about things, but so this is one that I've been working on since yesterday, and it's so I'm feeling a little bit of latency here going through the interface, but drifting a little bit, but again, it's better without a little bit tighter without that latency. But anyway, that's what I've been working on, and then even so with the left hand. Anyway, you get the idea. Developing the ability to like do triplets with one hand and 4/4 quarter notes with the other. And so, where did that idea come from? Specifically, it came from this video. Right here. So, I don't know if you've seen this. I see this guy all the time. The title of this short is Proof I'm a Computer. And it's really, really impressive. It's amazing. And so I think, well, maybe this is something to aspire to. I'm probably never going to get as good as this guy. But it's good to have an idea of things that you should be working toward, right? And so here's what this short looks like. Hopefully I won't get any kind of copyright strike, but beard, the man bun. This is a millennial. Yeah, I mean, I'm a Gen X, kind of, well, born 1971, 53 years old. I'm squarely Gen X, and this guy's a millennial, and these generational differences are a real thing, and my question is, the title of his short is "Proof I'm a Computer," and it's like it just seems odd to me. I came up in the '70s and '80s, at a time when I grew up listening to old Aerosmith and Led Zeppelin and Sabbath, and just like the sounds of the '70s, and even in the '80s, I was more into '70s music than I was in '80s music, and it's like, do you want to be a computer? Like, is that a bona fide as a drummer? I guess that's the real question. Is that a bona fide or a bona fide as a drummer? To be able to say, I'm a computer. Or it's like saying, I'm just like a computer. I guess it's not just one question. It's like more than one question nested in one question. Nested in that question is like, okay, is computer-like precision a desirable skill? Is that something that you should be able to do? But then on top of that, like, let's say that you're like this guy and you're able to make this video, like "Proof I'm a Computer." Is that the way you want to play? Because in the old days, when boys were boys or men were men, that's not how drummers played. There was always an elasticity and a looseness, and this is, I guess, before the days of quantization, and where recording projects were mapped and locked to a computer grid, and songs would have an ebb and a flow to them. So they'd speed up a little bit and they'd slow down a little bit, and there was a right. So it seems to me that that's what I'm used to as an older guy. That's the kind of that elasticity and that's the human feel that, I mean, it's like you learn to do computer drum parts, and then there's this whole skill of humanization, right? You want to humanize the part, make it sound more like a human being. So obviously that's a value that's not just had by older guys like me. So it's like this. Is it something to strive for, to have that computer-like precision as a drummer? Just to be able to do it, just to have that precise internal clock, but then be able to like deliberately stray from it. I mean, like in the old days, in the old days, before computers, before there were computers in the studio or otherwise, like in the early to mid 20th century, the great drummers, they didn't have computers to compare themselves to. They didn't have that metaphor, I guess. In the old days, like around the Enlightenment, Renaissance, whatever, the Industrial Revolution, when the big machines, the age of machines, and then the big metaphor is that the universe is like a machine, and human beings are machines. And then with the advent of the computer age, now we talk about, is the universe a hologram? Are we all living in a computer simulation? And the brain is a computer. These are just metaphors. I know that's a much bigger picture and this philosophical and all that, but I think there are some correlations. It's like this guy is saying, proof I'm a computer. I'm a computer. And I'm not slagging on this guy at all. He's awesome. It's an amazing thing. It's just, he's amazing at what he does. I'm just, as a guy who's just trying to learn his way around a kit, and as I choose the things that I drill on and work on, is that something to aspire to? That's the basic question. But then there are these other little questions that are nested in that question. So, if you're a drummer, I know I've attracted a few drummers to these streams who said hello. And yes, I'm a drummer. Maybe you've subbed. Maybe you see this stream. If you're a drummer and you're watching this, please chime in and give me your 2 cents or your 200 or 2,000 or $2 million. What's your opinion on this? Thanks for watching. And in the meantime, I'm just going to keep on just keep on practicing so I can do basic parts for my recording projects. Because that's what it's really about at this point for me, is I just like to be able to track my own drum parts instead of relying on computer drum parts all the time, Okay, thank you in advance for commenting, and over and out.